Hey guys, it's Jordan Sparks. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is not going to be so much of a voiceover video because I am actually here. But we are going to be talking about Dance Moms predictions, the Dance Moms reunion, and Abby Lee Dance With Me, I believe her program is called, as well as Madhouse. So let's jump into it. So on around November 1st, it was announced that there was going to be a Dance Moms reunion. And if you're wondering why I'm in my van right now and it's filled to the brim, it's because I actually have a van life channel and I've been traveling around living in my Dodge Grand Caravan now. So if you wanted to check out my second channel, it is called Dancing with My Van, and I will leave it linked in the comments below, I guess. In the top comment, I will pin that. But on around November 1st, I believe it was, the Dance Moms cast was doing live streams and they were posting all over social media that there was going to be a Dance Moms reunion coming in 2024. I personally thought that that was going to be announced already and that we would already know the date for it, but we just kind of got a bunch of teasers while it was being filmed around November 1st, and we haven't heard anything dropped so far. However, there are several shows and several spin-offs in the works as well, and that's what I wanted to talk about in today's video. So the first one is Abby Lee's Madhouse, and I believe that Madhouse, like MAD, stands for music, acting, and dancing. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that that's what Abby said. And essentially, this is like a low production value reality show that is hosted on Brandon TV, which is another platform network streaming service. And I personally watched one episode, I believe, possibly two, and there doesn't seem to be much of a plot that follows through. There's a lot of cuts. It looks like a reality show, the way that they've filmed it, like with the interviews and people just kind of spouting their opinions in private little interview segments, feels like a reality show. It feels like Big Brother. It feels like the Kardashians, stuff like that. However, it just doesn't feel cohesive. It doesn't feel sequential. It doesn't feel like anything makes sense. And essentially, the premise of this show is Abby Lee Miller is coaching a group of adult dancers that are trying to make it in LA, and she's just kind of trying to be the same old ruthless Abby that we know, but have it be more age appropriate because she's doing it towards adult dancers. However, I lost interest in this show after like the first episode, and that's coming from somebody that watched Dance Moms every single episode ever. So I don't foresee the future being very bright for Abby Lee's Madhouse. However, that leads us into Abby Lee's second TV show that she is producing right now, and that is Abby Lee Dance With Me. Now, Abby Lee has been teasing a Dance Moms Season 9, or she's just been calling it Season 9 for the longest time now, and that is because she's been creating this Abby Lee Dance With Me. When she released Madhouse, I know there was a bunch of people that were wondering, is this the Season 9 that she's been talking about? Especially because there's a dancer from Season 8 featured on there, Hannah Collin. However, it was this Abby Lee Dance With Me, and Abby Lee Dance With Me is basically supposed to be Abby Lee's version of working with kids, or Dance Moms, if you will. This is seemingly an even lower grade reality television show that I believe is going to be hosted on Brandon TV as well. Now, I honestly, who knows? It's up in the air whether this show is going to be successful or not. I really, really don't think it is, because the success of Dance Moms was kind of like a magical moment that was a combination of the timing and the group of organic chemistry that came out of having like a group of people in Pittsburgh that had no idea that they were going to be on a reality show and it wasn't planned, coming together, and the kind of dynamic that that created. However, with this newer seasons of Dance Moms, everybody coming on knew that they were going to be on a reality show, and it kind of ruined the dynamic of the show to the point that the audience was no longer that interested. Especially the audience was not so much interested in watching Abby Lee Miller abuse children on television. So the show's ratings really, really dropped, and with each individual season going forward, especially after the Ziegler sisters left, the ratings on the show just continued to drop and drop and drop. So, without the backing of Lifetime, and Abby being the most controversial figure that came from the show, and Abby herself doesn't get a ton of publicity these days, nothing like some of the successful dancers who have come to the show. So with just Abby trying to push this show and just Abby having the backing of a network that she's in partnership as opposed to a large network like Lifetime, which is a subsidiary of Disney, I really don't think that Abby Lee Dance With Me is going to be a successful show, but only time will tell, I guess. Which leads us to the biggest reason why I don't think that it's going to succeed is its direct competitor, which is going to be the actual season 9 of Dance Moms. So Brian Stinson, the producer of Dance Moms, and he's the legitimate producer who is connected with Lifetime, is producing a Dance Moms season 9 that is going to be connected with Lifetime. Now, with the release of the Dance Moms reunion, they're probably going to directly release the Dance Moms Season 9 promos with that as well, so that they can capitalize off of the Dance Moms reunion and kind of segue from that into the Dance Moms Season 9 and promos for that, and kind of get their old audience re-engaged. That's what I'm thinking so far, but I guess time will tell. We'll have to see. We're still waiting to hear when the actual Dance Moms reunion is even going to be dropped because they haven't announced a date yet, but we do know that everything is filmed. They filmed it months ago. They filmed it in November, so they've had all of November, all of December. We are into January now, so I'm assuming that they just need to get some final edits and make sure that they have a slot for it to be released. I know Lifetime is airing all of this stuff right now with like Gypsy Rose Blanchard and the Munchausen by Proxy case, and as well as Kaylee and Casey Anthony, that case, which has been all over the internet and all over television as well. So maybe they kind of pushed it back because of all that. I have no idea. But once that does come out, I just don't think that Abby Lee Dance With Me is going to be able to rival Dance Moms Season 9 in terms of publicity. Like, I think way less people are even going to hear that Abby Lee has a new show compared to if Brian Stinson and Lifetime release a brand new show on network television, even though network television is dying compared to, like, it's in its caveman days compared to streaming services, but we'll see what happens. That being said, I don't think that Dance Moms Season 9, if it is hosted by whoever and is not going to be starring Abby Lee Miller, I just don't think that it's going to be successful either. I don't think that the magic is there. We don't have any of the big names that were involved before, and I just don't know. Only time will tell. But that leads us to the last show that I wanted to talk about, and I don't have the name of this show yet. However, it seems that Christy Lukasiak is also in cahoots with Brian Stinson on creating some kind of other show. Now, whether she is involved in Dance Moms Season 9, I have no idea. She very well could be. Her and Chloe do have that Elevate dance company that they've just created, so who knows? Maybe they will be in Dance Moms Season 9. If so, maybe I would watch it then, because I would definitely love to watch Christy. She was the best part of the original Dance Moms. Out of all the moms, she was definitely the most entertaining, hands down. But I think that that is it for this video, so let me know what you guys think of the Dance Moms Season 9 reboot, Abby Lee Dance With Me, Madhouse, and if Christy Lukasiak is creating some other show, or whether that's going to be Dance Moms Season 9. And yeah, I guess that is it for me for this video. And as always, make sure to be weird, be wild, and stay sparkly. Bye, guys.